All right, folks, we're going to continue on with the John Neighbors show here in a little bit. I know we've been talking about a lot of stuff going on in Razorback land, and we try to do as much as we can when talking about the fun things and the sports things, and we'll continue to do that, no doubt about it. But I did want to take this time and then this opportunity to express something that we're going to be doing here at Natty State Sports, which is very important, and we're trying to always have fun, but when it comes to things like helping out our state, our great state of Arkansas, we want to do that as well. And so I'm really proud of this. And I'm really proud to announce that tomorrow night here at Natty State Sports, we're going to be having an official live stream for tornado relief for those in need across the great state of Arkansas. Now, I want to kind of go into some details on this because it's like a tough thing to kind of post about, at least on social media, and then maybe people may not fully understand what it is or what's being asked or anything like that. And I just wanted to clarify this first and foremost, that thank you to Team Whimsy. Team Whimsy, who has partnered with us, which is a great cause. And what they do, they're locally organized here in the state of Arkansas. And what they do is that anytime there's disaster relief that is needed, they're there to provide. And they have been coming up to the Northwest Arkansas area, especially in the Rogers area, and trying to do their part in helping, whether it's going out and cleaning up, whether it's raising money to provide for those who are in need, whether it's goods and services, clothing, anything. They're always going to be there checking in and doing their part. And it's something that always is very inspiring, at least to me, seeing just normal people step up to the plate and to be able to organize something so crucial and so pivotal. I can tell you this, that we are a blessed people. And I'm not saying that to sound cliche. I mean it. Like, we are a blessed people. Sometimes we can forget that a little bit when we go out there and into the world and we have the struggles that we have, and we get frustrated by things. Sometimes it's work, sometimes it's family, sometimes it's friends, sometimes it's whatever it could be. Like, we just get so wrapped up in it that we really focus too much on the things that we don't have instead of looking at the things that we do have. And unfortunately, this is also kind of a painful reminder when things like this happen, just how good we have it. Because there are some people across this state that lost a lot. Some of them may have lost everything. And I can tell you, seeing those images from last week, from the storms that came through Arkansas, it was devastating. Here in the Northwest Arkansas area, I know the city of Rogers was hit one of the hardest. And to see the damage and to see the people injured and the unfortunate part of it, when people lose their lives, it's heartbreaking. Things happen all over the world, but whenever it hits closer to home, it just impacts you a little bit differently. And so us here at Natty State Sports, we want to do our part. We want to do our part to help. And a lot of cases, it's easier to be said than actually to do. But we want to be able to provide those who are in need with some relief. So what we're going to be doing tomorrow night, starting at 5 p.m., is we're going to do a live stream. A live stream to be able to provide, whether it's donations in money or clothing or food or volunteer work, whatever. All those things that are needed. And we're partnering with Team Whimsy to do it. We're going to stream it to be able to bring awareness to it and get help from everyone, not just from people who are in the state of Arkansas, but across the world who we are blessed to have watch us and read us and be a part of Natty State Sports. That's what we're going to be doing. And we're going to have details and all that. We'll have a QR code on the screen at all times during the live stream, to which you can just click on it with your phone and it'll take you right to where teamwhimsy.com is organized. And I can tell you this, by just talking a little bit with the people involved there, I want to make this extremely clear. And I know they do as well. So let's make sure we say this part of it. 100% of all proceeds, of all donations, go to disaster relief here in the state of Arkansas. There is no cut. There's no most of it. No. 100% of all proceeds are given to the disaster relief of Arkansans. So I want to make sure that everyone understands that. because there are times where people try to take advantage of others, and we are not about that. You know why? Because we're Natty State. And I know that with what we do here, and again, trying to have some fun and try to talk sports and try to be a lot more casual, there's always a lot more important things that go on in the world. But one of the things that I tell people all the time when they ask me about why I started Natty State, but also why I named it Natty State Sports, I tell them straight up, and I've said this, I know, many times on my show too. It's because of being the natural state, the Natty State. It's Arkansas. You know, I don't want to do anything that is outside of here. You know, I don't want to cater to people that aren't wanting to be a part of this great community that is the state of Arkansas. Like, Arkansas gets a bad rap. We all know that. I mean, we don't have to sit here and go through all the times that Arkansas has gotten disrespected. I mean, people see stats, they've seen numbers like, oh, you're the worst in this, you're the worst in this. Ew, that place. Ew. You know, people have never even been here. They've never even been to Arkansas. But I can tell you as somebody, like, I'll be honest, and it's kind of weird to say it this way, but, you know, I was not born in Arkansas. I wasn't. I was born in Dallas, Texas. But I only lived in Dallas for like a year, maybe less than. I don't even remember it at all. But me and my family, we moved up to Arkansas there shortly after. And I haven't been anywhere else since. I grew up in Fayetteville, as you can tell from my Fayetteville Bulldog shirt. Go Dogs, Purple Rain, state champs, no big deal. But I grew up in Fayetteville. That was the only place I knew. K through 12 public schools, Butterfield Trail Elementary, McNair Middle School, Woodland Junior High, Fayetteville High School. Went there for all 12 years. I went to the University of Arkansas, 7.5 years in college, you know, going and having some fun with that. Like, this is where I'm at. And I remember when I was growing up in that particular situation, not really exploring much of the state. I'll be honest. You know, the only time that I ever really got out to travel in the state growing up is when I'd go see my Frammy and grandfather who lived in Rabbit Ridge, Arkansas, which is right outside of Damascus. If you don't know where that's at, it's right outside of Greenbrier. It's in Van Buren County. It's a family farm. And to get there, it was basically going down 49, going over 40, hitting the Morrilton exit right there. I believe it's 108, 109, something like that. And then going all the way in. That was about the extent. But I remember when I left Fayetteville for the very first time in 2017, I moved to Little Rock. Worked for 103.7 The Buzz in promotions. I was only there 6 months, but that was a very scary thing for me because not anything about Little Rock, just about me moving. Because it's like I'm still in Arkansas, but I don't know, it's not Fayetteville. I moved down there. I maybe wasn't really there long enough to settle in, but I enjoyed the time I was there. But then I got a job offer in Fort Smith. I never lived in Fort Smith. I only knew a few people that was in Fort Smith. In fact, I had never even visited the city at all, except for one time. I think me and my family went to Olive Garden for my birthday as a kid because that was the only place that had an Olive Garden that was close. Man, times have changed. But I'd never been there, and I got to go, and I lived there for 2 years. And not only get to see the city of Fort Smith, but the community outside of it, you know, Greenwood and, you know, seeing that, and then Charleston. They're just places that I would travel to, and, you know, going down different interstates, getting down to Texarkana, going through a different way, going to Old 71. I got to check it out. And then I moved back to Little Rock. I was there for 4 years. Granted, the pandemic hit as soon as I moved back. But when I lived there for 4 years, I went to cities that I'd never been to before. You know, I went and did some business in Pine Bluff. I went to Sheridan. You know, I went to these places that I went to Gillette for the coon supper. I'd never been there before in my life. I really started to have hot springs come around. You know, would go down there to the lake. My girlfriend at the time was like living in Hot Springs. So I got to go down there and visit it. So I bring all that up to say, folks, that I love this state. And I maybe didn't always appreciate the love that I had for this state until I actually got to explore it. And I'll never forget, a year ago, roughly, I was working at 103.7 The Buzz. And we were doing a live show at Gwatney Chevrolet in Jacksonville. My show was out of bounds. It was from 1 to 4, and we were doing a live show on location there. Well, that happened to be the same day that an awful, horrible tornado came through the Central Arkansas area. In fact, during my show, we had to take shelter because we were just a mere mile away from the tornado that ripped through Jacksonville. And to see that devastation, it really changes you and your outlook on things. In Northwest Arkansas, I'd never seen tornadoes. Been fortunate enough growing up that we didn't have those, but I saw Joplin have tornadoes, heard about Fort Smith's tornadoes and Tuscaloosa. You hear about it, you watch TV, but until you actually are in that experience and seeing the devastation of it in a community, in a place that you drive through, you live at all the time, and even seeing the impacts that it had against places that maybe you went to or that you loved, or maybe people you knew that were impacted, it's sad. It breaks your heart, and it rocks you to think about how lucky you are. Like, I was so fortunate, just like many, that it had no major negative impacts to me, but there were a lot that did. And I remember just how sad it was. But that changed pretty quickly, because that sadness, that heartbreak, that got replaced with something that you can never really explain into words: human nature. It's tough to see people go through a lot no matter what. But when you see the immediate response of those that could provide things for those who are in need in the community, for perfect strangers, the immediate response to be is just to help and to not get anything out of it, because they're getting paid to do it, not because they're going to get accolades or whatever, tax breaks, nothing. They're doing it because it's the right thing to do, to help your neighbor. Because you would want somebody, if you had lost everything, lost your home, lost your possessions, lost your car, lost loved ones, you would feel so alone. But that's the great thing about human nature. As much as we are as a sloppy race, we always step up to the plate. But we always do it, especially here in Arkansas. We're not going to be the place of destination that everybody's just going to look at and just say they cannot believe this and cannot believe it happened at Arkansas, and all the negative things that come from it. Like, it's not going to impact people outside this state in ways that we may think it should. But you know what? You don't need it. We don't need it. We got each other. And that's why we're doing this. I know I've talked a long time about it, and I didn't make it to sound like some sort of monologue as to, all of it. But I'm just trying to tell you and trying to explain that this is what we do. We're the Natty State. Our motto is powered by Arkansas for Arkansas. Because that's who we are. That's who our audience is. And we do it for you. And that's what we're going to be doing with the tornado relief live stream that's going to be happening tomorrow, is we're going to be doing it for everyone here in the state of Arkansas. And we want your help. We want your help. We're going to do our part. We're going to do everything we can. And we're going to ask you to do the same. Because there's still a lot of people in need. It's one of those things that, seeing pictures does a lot. But when you drive around and you see just how devastating it is, it really puts a lot of things in perspective. So I ask all of you to join us tomorrow. We're going to have some fun with it. We are going to have not only us from Natty State Sports, the fellas, myself, Curtis, Scotty, and Andrew, but we're also going to have some special guests, some people who are from Arkansas and knows what it takes to be in Arkansas, some former players, some personalities that will be joining us. We'll also be joined by some of our sponsors who have been kind enough to donate to the cause and to be able to join us and talk about not only why they're donating, but also the importance of donating and how great it is to be having business, at least in the state of Arkansas. And we'll also have some other things too, some other fun surprises to be a part of it. But I'm really excited about it, not because of us and getting content. That's not what this is about. It's about using our platform to try to bring awareness and trying to help out those who are in need. So that's why I want to make sure everyone's clear. It's 100% of it all goes towards those in need here in the state of Arkansas. We're the Natty State, man. We're the Natty State. We're always going to be here for each other. But I look forward to it. Hopefully we see you all there tomorrow, again, starting at 5 o'clock. And we'll keep going until we don't go anymore. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to go to a great cause. And we really appreciate Team Whimsy being a part of it. Also, Alumni Hall has been a huge part of it, too. They're going to be joining us a little bit tomorrow. But they're also going to have a drop-off box at their location at 3417 North College Avenue. So if you want to check them out there, you can drop off non-perishables, clothing, canned goods, everything. And a great deal that they're going to be having, too, is that, and I want to make sure that I read it correctly because I don't want to misrepresent them, but they're going to have not only the donation box, but you will get 10% off of your purchase there in store at Alumni Hall. And with that, Alumni Hall will donate 10% back to the Relief Fund. So for every purchase that you make there at Alumni Hall, that 10% off will be going back to the Relief Fund with Team Whimsy for helping those out in the state of Arkansas. But yeah, we really appreciate them partnering with us, Team Whimsy partnering with us, and all of your support. And everybody out there, just know that Natty State Sports is with you all the way. And if there's ever anything that we can do to help, we'll always be here to help. But appreciate you, appreciate everybody. Can't wait for tomorrow. It's going to be a great live stream. We hope to see you there. Hey, it's all Natty all the time, powered by Arkansas for Arkansas. We're the Natty State. We'll see you there.